Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I want to go over AI blogging in 2025 and beyond. I want to go over how you can take a blog that you create from scratch, a website, and how you can turn it into something. Now, right now I'll show you my website. This is something I've been working on since 2023. So right now, this is my website. I've mentioned this. Now, this is an education website focused on recommendations, also news, resources. There's an AI financial advisor that I'm kind of working on integrating with APIs. And so there's different ways you can do this. But there's also the newsletter you guys can sign up for. And really my goal here with this website is just to provide financial education. I enjoy talking about the topics, as you can probably tell from my YouTube channel if you've watched any of my previous videos. And if you're new around here, by the way, my name is Drew. We talk about on this channel how we can take our assets, let's say our portfolios or any kind of digital assets we might have. Maybe it's a YouTube channel or something, and we talk about how we can turn these into cash flow for our daily life, right? So we can maybe not have to work one of these corporate jobs. And I've mentioned in some of my other videos how difficult the job market has been recently, and how much trouble people are having. And so by kind of diversifying our income streams, perhaps we can do that through a blog, right? Like we're going to talk about in this video, but also, you can do it in a variety of ways. And so if you like those types of topics, consider tuning in to this channel more often and hitting that subscribe button. With that being said, let's get into it. So it's pretty simple, the workflow that is involved in creating a blog in 2025. You'll see that my traffic is up, so it looks like it fluctuates. Now this has been down from 2,000 under to 1,000, right? So I've been in the range. When I started out, there was basically nothing, right? If we go back to 2023, obviously there's nothing because I just launched the website. But as I'm growing here, it's taken me a long time. I have over 200 posts. And yes, I do use artificial intelligence, and I'll explain how I kind of incorporate this. I think AI, when it comes to blogging, is going to be very important going forward, just because it's so much more efficient to make content. You don't have to have the person typing up everything from scratch. Now, you can still do that and you can still tweak the article, but for first drafts, personally, in terms of the workflow that I'm going to explain to you, especially even before any links are put in on the web, the formatting on the fonts, these are all important steps. Also, any kind of graphics that you create on the blog post will also help to create visual appeal. And you'll see, like on each of these posts, if we go back to the homepage of my website, this one, there's always a new photo, right? And so we're always going to have a new, basically just a new featured photo. And I also have like charts and stuff, and so there's resources, there's calculators, right? So I'm trying to create an interactive website that has different things, and it has a mission, right? It has like kind of a goal, what we're trying to accomplish here, as I explained. There's a contact page. Let me know if there's any issues with that contact form if anybody tries to contact me through there, by the way. But we have the different tabs. I'm trying to make it as organized as possible. All of this, by the way, is done through WordPress. Now, WordPress, I love WordPress. I've been using them for years, actually. Even before, when I created another website back in the day, I used WordPress in high school. When I actually made my first $100 online, which was a huge success for me back when I was in high school. I was like 17, and I launched this product. I should have stuck with it. It may have become a lot more successful, but I had this website, howtogainmusclefast.com. And I remember I made my first $100, and when that happened, it was like the best feeling in the world, just because, it was something that I had created from scratch, and I was actually getting something back for what I had created. And that's kind of the same concept here. So the goal long term, right, is through, advertising, traffic, affiliate marketing, right? So Seeking Alpha is one example. They have a great product. I actually love Seeking Alpha. I get on there quite often. The pro subscription is amazing. You have access to basically all kinds of opinions out there, professional articles written for you. But these are like, in-depth articles that are all about specific stocks, ETFs, all that kind of stuff. So our sponsor, I will give them a little plug. They are somebody that, I love to discuss here on the channel, Seeking Alpha. Check them out if you're interested. I'll leave the link down below, and there should be a discount code if you do decide to sign up. Thank you so much, guys. And with that being said, let's get back into it. So we have basically WordPress that I use for the workflow. I'm always focused on the fonts. I'm always focused on how can I create fonts that are going to be great in terms of readership, because you have to think about mobile, right? You have to think about how can I optimize this for somebody on a desktop computer, or if I'm wanting to zoom in, it's nice and smooth. There's no 10 ways. In this article, like I said, if we go back to ChatGPT, this is actually the initial draft. Now, what I'm trying to do, it's a one-man operation, keep in mind, but I'm trying to build the content base up. And then what I'm going to do after that is basically go in here. I already have a lot of the backlinks put in, but what you have to try to do is put in backlinks to your own website almost. So like what I mean is REITs, right? So I have another article on REITs that I want to link to by linking here, or linking perhaps here to my other article, so that it'll open a new tab, and then basically you'll go to that article. So it's all about keeping people on your website, hopefully as long as possible. So that's another thing you'll want to keep in mind. So the font sizing, everything else. So you can use AI for that draft and then just get those backlinks in there, and also try to change the formatting, because AI tends to use a lot of the same words. And so you want to try to change things up, and also the prompting. So when it comes to like the prompting of this, just remember that, and this is actually a different article. So this one right here actually is one, if we hit publish, this one will now show up on the website. So this one was not on here previously. I apologize, but this is a different article. And you just kind of look at how quickly this can be created, right? This new article that I just published, it should show up now. So it looks like the featured image did not show up. So top 10 biggest investing mistakes. Top 10 biggest investing mistakes beginners make and how to avoid them. So we'll go ahead and add a featured photo for this. And so hopefully what we're going to be able to do is go ahead and oops. All right. Top 10 mistakes. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and change the formatting here. And I typically do 1200 for the formatting on the website. You have to think about your theme. So when you do WordPress, you'll choose your theme, and basically you'll just come in here and put your photos in. It's very easy to use. That's what I love about WordPress. When you get the hang of it, it really does work great. Now, for hosting, Ionis, okay, so what you saw right here on the website statistics, we can kind of deep dive that a little bit more. I don't know what's going on with my, okay, every time I try to move my camera, that's what it is. But so 3,483 visitors. We can kind of go into this and see what's going on. But basically, if we look at the statistics and how many page impressions, 13.71, 3,600 visitors, which to me is pretty crazy. You have some days where we had over 500 people we had in one day. I'll take it, right? So long term, if I can get to 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, we have the different search engine robots, and it has kind of all of this together. So that's what I love about Ionis for hosting. All of this is tied in with WordPress. So they have the WordPress growth package you can choose from, and you basically just come in here and you start creating the content. So once again, what we're doing is basically like if we go to creating a new post here, as I just created, top 10 biggest investing mistakes. If we hit publish, right, and we basically just copy and paste the text, start changing the backlinks and trying to get everything tweaked in there with your website, and really just try to focus as best as you can on creating high quality content that, if somebody who's reading this, a complete stranger landed upon it, they would get some value from it, right? So how are you helping people? I think this helps people because if you're an investor, you can see what kind of mistakes you might be making and what you can really think about, whether you're managing your own portfolio or you have a financial advisor you're working with. It's a general advice article that can help somebody out there who might be looking to achieve certain goals. And it's a good length too. I think it's over 1,000 words, and so you have this, decent length. Another thing to keep in mind with building a blog, especially on WordPress, is you can download. I have this SEO pack, Yoast SEO, and you can put in like the meta description. And so if you try to basically take this and put this in as the meta description, it'll even turn green almost as to indicate like that's a good length and everything. So it'll kind of tell you, and the slug and SEO title, so it kind of tells you what it thinks of everything almost. And then we will go ahead and hit save. And now we have the featured image put in, or we should. And we'll see if this is actually showing up on the website now. And so we can go back to daily investment advice here, click on the article, and you'll see that it did in fact upload. We'll go back to the home page, and there it is. And so just like that, we have a piece of content that can be published. We can also categorize it. So on WordPress, the great thing is you can categorize pretty much everything. All of this right here, you can create your own categories from scratch, as I've done, like exchange traded funds. I have a lot of categories to choose from, especially being an investment website, because I have a lot of topics I want to talk about. So the idea is we want to go ahead and create a lot of categories to basically assist with that. So really, I mean, I'm no like crazy influencer who has tons of views. I'm just an average guy, and I'm doing this part-time. But for right now, I have about 3,500 roughly people coming to this website, I guess, or visitors, according to my statistics here. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting, especially considering that it's from zero. Now, with that being said, I decided to go ahead and type in, is WordPress worth it? Of course, the AI overview is going to say, yes, it's worth it. But some of the other websites you'll see, it says it's easy to use, secure, and gives users no technical expertise. So it's one of the most efficient ways to do websites on Reddit, is what they're saying here. WordPress, key trends and developments in WordPress. You can kind of just read different opinions on, is it worth it in 2025. Of course, the thing is with all this AI stuff, right? People are going to be maybe a little bit hesitant to change. A lot of people who have traditionally wrote articles, they're going to be kind of resistant in terms of like using AI to actually write drafts maybe. But a lot of people are already using ChatGPT to write drafts. And you can kind of tell when a large language model is writing something because, like I said, there's certain keywords they tend to use. I forget what they are, but you can look up like what the most common words are that ChatGPT will throw into articles. So it really comes down to the prompting. Like, how can you prompt this thing? If we go back to, for example, so I asked it first for an idea, right? I was like, give me an idea for this, that might go viral or something. So it actually gave me this idea right here, this one. And I said, okay, this is great. Let's go ahead and write the article. Ensure it is directed towards the reader, and it is an extremely high quality article. And then I kind of gave it some encouragement too, right? So I said, hey, you can do it. I know you got this. And it said, absolutely, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take care of this. And sure enough, it spit out, I think, a decent article for a draft. And it would take a regular person a while to write this. And so the game has really changed with AI content. I think there's still going to be a lot of opportunity to build businesses for those who can become efficient and really lean, right? The thing is, like, when you're trying to build a brand back in the early 2000s, you probably have to hire a team if you want to produce a lot of content at scale. And so it gets very expensive. Now, obviously, we know that AI has the potential to disrupt jobs. We're already seeing, I think, a lot of editorial jobs being consolidated. I was hearing about different companies laying editorial teams off. I forget which one it was back in the day when this ChatGPT first came out. They laid off, I think, their entire staff of editors, I believe. Some magazine, if I'm not mistaken. But the point is, this stuff can really get interesting because the efficiency aspect, it just dramatically increases the ability to create content at scale. And then you just have to think, how can we tweak the content to make it high quality, to have links, to have images and the right fonting, formatting and all that. So it all goes into creating a good product, I guess you could say. And really, whoever's going to read your website and trying to get that SEO aspect. And so WordPress and also Ionis, there's other hosting providers out there. Most of them are going to allow you to integrate WordPress with your website. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into this, amateur hour of talking about how to start a blog in 2025 and beyond. I mean, like I said, I'm just an average guy. I have a couple of YouTube channels. I grew another YouTube channel from 0 to 10,000 subscribers. And so I do have some experience growing social media, but a lot of other people are much larger. So maybe I'm not the one to listen to. Maybe I'll become one of those individuals one day, but we'll see. I do want to thank you for your time, though. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helps somebody who's out there. It's much simpler than you think. You just need to open a hosting account, really. Go to Ionis, and it'll all be in the description. If you've made it this far, everything's in the description. And you can just go down there, sign up for Ionis, and then call their customer support. They can get WordPress set up. You have to choose a website, choose a domain, think about a brand, think about a business plan. But with that being said, God bless you all. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving coming up. Happy, I guess if you celebrate any kind of other holidays, the holidays are upon us. And we're all blessed and, to live in this country still. I know there's a lot going on, but it's a very interesting time. And I think we just have to try to be as positive as possible, even though there's some bad stuff happening. There always will be. I mean, the world's not going to be a perfect place. And, we just have to try to make the best of it and make our own opportunities with, blogging and other digital assets and financial assets out there. So thank you so much, guys. My rant is done, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.